Hello, everyone.
Okay, hi, everyone. Welcome to the show, the Cricket Fever in India versus England. So we are here today discussing about the match which happened, which lasted only for 2 days. Amazing match though, but it could have been prolonged a little longer though. So, but we are here today discussing about that match. So let's open the show. Yeah,
Discussion. Yeah.
yeah, sure. Go
First
ahead.
of all, thank you all of you for joining. But a interesting match tha. There was so much controversy about the pitch. There was so much of hue and cry. But there were some plus points as well. Ashwin got his 400th wicket, and Joe Root got his first fifer. that was
Thanks to the
that was
coach.
amusing. And what else came of it?
So
Yeah,
the
the biggest
biggest
thing that sorry, go ahead.
the
Please.
I truly regret not playing that match. I would have got a fifer as well. So
True. The only criticism is that it didn't last long, although I don't think there is much issue about the pitch, although because the
I
pitch
have a long
played.
stuff to say on that, Prince.
Okay, go ahead.
just on technicalities, I would say the biggest thing that we could learn from this match is to understand that England were not prepared. वो नहीं तैयार थे.
No, they are exactly.
They don't have the skill. Like Sri Lanka के साथ खेलना is a different ball game than playing with India. Uh, the biggest thing that struck me out is if they are still complaining that pitch was bad, then why didn't they play two spinners?
Two spinners.
exactly.
Exactly.
Did they reach
Why
the
didn't they
pitch
strategize it
properly? Did
accordingly?
they reach the pitch properly? That is one thing, definitely.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
that's the first thing
point.
that came my mind. Like
I
you
want
don't have
to-
right to criticize pitch because it's saying it's a spinning wicket and then don't play two spinners.
Two spinners. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They misread the pitch somewhat. They played three seamers, not the spinners, like three seamers, not
Yeah.
the spinners. So that was like
Yeah,
that's completely misread from the day one.
exactly.
True.
Like it's hard for me to like grab what they were saying. Like I understand Joe Root picked 5 wickets, but it was not the bowling. He took tail-enders wickets. It was the batsman
Yeah,
that
we
gave
were
him the
trying to
wicket.
just hit him out. We were trying to hit
Exactly.
him out, basically. So
Yeah.
yeah. And one thing, I mean, good thing is that we are having the discussion after a few days. The match is ended because in between, lot of things have been said by experts. I think we got a chance to watch the highlights time and again. हम लोगों ने देखा experts ने क्या बोला. We have read that in the media. We have I think we have a good discussion in hand. Definitely, I mean, lot of points to. I mean, when Devesh Plus suggested, though we could not watch the match live because 2 बजे रात को यहाँ पे हो रहा था. So
नहीं possible है.
we couldn't watch
थोड़ा
the
मुश्किल हो
match
जाता है.
live, but since we have a discussion, then I thought, a match got over in 2 days. What are we going to discuss?
To be honest,
I mean,
when I
2
woke
बजे
up,
शुरू हुआ था. Sorry, 2 a.m. Calgary time it started. Sorry.
yeah, when I woke up after the first day, match got over in the morning at 5, and I saw that what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh my god, 13 wickets fell, England all
Yeah,
out. And so on the next day, I was like, okay, and now India will bat longer, so I should sleep a little bit longer, and then we'll think about it. So, but when I woke
Exactly.
up and match was over,
Yeah. Even I had to rub my fingers. I put that on WhatsApp as well. I had to rub my fingers through. So the thing is, there's a lot to discuss. First of all, I mean, obviously, this is not an easy pitch to bat on by no means. You cannot, and this is not a pitch where the tail enders can be expected to bat and do something. But the thing is, and this applies to both the sides.
Right.
Now here we have predominantly the cricket today. आज जो cricket खेला जाता है वो T20 है. वहीं पे पैसा है, वहीं पे follow up है. The batting in the T20, what is needed to be done, and the batting जो इस pitch पे करना है, there is a 180-degree shift. So ये जो सालों से younger batsmen, even the senior batsmen, and I'm not talking of a genius. I'm not talking of a Virat Kohli and everybody. I mean, they also face problem. Joe Root, ठीक है, he got out to a superior, he was, I mean, that's a different discussion. But normal international batsmen, and I'm not talking about school level, high level international batsmen, even they, today with the predominancy of the T20 matches, and we watch only the IPL and the international matches, but these matches are played from school level onward. With that development, do they have the skill to bat in this sort of a pitch? I think that is a big question. Devesh, no audio.
Sorry. So, Bhaskar, if I may interrupt you for a second and ask you, like you've mentioned this type of pitch, this type of pitch several times in your in your narration. So, can you elaborate on that? What was it about the pitch that made it so exciting?
Absolutely great question. So, what happens in a typical T20 match? So here, and that is where I mentioned that we'll discuss the technicalities. What happens when a batsman is batting? And I'm not talking of full toss. I'll give you an example. जहां पे ball pitch करके आ रहा है, what a batsman is going to do. A ball has pitched on the good length. The batsman in a typical wicket which is not deviating much, a batsman will put his foot forward. Already he has made an anticipation in his mind. The ball pitch करने के बाद, टप्पा खाने के बाद straight आएगा. I will go through the shot, drive मारूंगा, cut करूंगा, जो भी है. और उसने जो एंटिसिपेट किया बॉल वही किया. वो फ्रंट फुट पे आया, बॉल बैट नाइस एंड इजी आया, उसने ड्राइव मारा, गैप ढूंढ लिया, 4 हो गया. ओके, टिपिकल T20 बैटिंग, टिपिकल इवन वन डे आई माइट से दिस इज द बैटिंग. इस पिच पे क्या हुआ, इवन बॉल स्पिन कर रहा है तो वो आगे गया, फ्रंट फुट पे गया, उसने एक्सपेक्ट किया बॉल थोड़ा स्पिन करेगा, बॉल बहुत ज्यादा स्पिन किया. नेक्स्ट टाइम उसने एंटिसिपेट किया कि बॉल इस बार स्पिन करेगा, वो एंटिसिपेट करके फिर उसने बैट चलाया, बॉल स्पिन नहीं किया, स्ट्रेट आया. सो ये जो बात है कि बैट्समैन जो पहले से एंटिसिपेट करके बैटिंग करता है T20 में और दूसरे मैचों में, क्रिकेट में जो बेसिक सिखाया जाता है प्ले लेट, वो प्ले लेट का पूरा चला गया है बिकॉज ऑफ T20.
एग्जैक्टली, वो कॉन्सेप्ट ही अभी नहीं है कि लेट द बॉल.
1 सेकंड, अभी आ गया है प्रीमेडिटेटेड. बैट्समैन पहले डिसाइड कर लेता है इस बॉल पे मैं रिवर्स स्वीप करूंगा, इस बॉल को मैं मिड ऑन के ऊपर से 6 मारूंगा, मैंने बॉलर रन अप से पहले. और इस पिच पे डिमांड है कि आप एकदम लास्ट मोमेंट पे खेलो क्योंकि बॉल स्किड करके आ रहा है, बॉल स्किड करके निकल रहा है. दिस इज द डिफरेंस, दिस इज द टेक्निकलिटी डिफरेंस.
No, I completely agree. Bhaskar. So what was happening with this match particularly was, as Bhaskar said, mindset was fixed to what happened in the second test match, to play with the spin. Like there are two different bowlers, Akshar Patel and Ashwin. Akshar Patel's ball will come straight. He's not a big turner. मैंने highlights देखी ध्यान से. In the England innings, out of 10 people, 7 people were out on a straighter ball, the ball that didn't spin, and they played for spin. That was because of their mindset, because Akshar Patel was spinning in the second test. When ball pitches, they were going for the spin, like it's coming inside for the left-hander, but it was not. It was just going straight. So I think what happens is it seems like a mindset hasn't changed from the second match. I like Ashutosh's comment here.
I like your analysis, Bhaskar. Your Harsha
Thanks, Ashutosh. Most welcome.
So, let me ask you guys a question. Let's divide this into 3 segments. One is the skill of playing spin.
Yeah.
Second is the pitch, and third is the mindset / attitude. Let's divide this 3 into 100%. So what do you think was the factor for England losing it this bad?
They were not, first of all, they realized right from the, I would say, first innings, second innings of first match. First innings, okay, this is very interesting. First innings of the first test match, nothing. T20 pitch. Everybody knows how to play. Put your foot forward, ball will do exactly what you think. 4, 6, whatever the batsman bowler tries, nothing is going to happen, no deviation. Because the whole thing about bowling is that the batsman will think something and bat accordingly, and the bowler's idea is to understand what is the batsman going to think and then outthink him by doing something which the batsman will not anticipate. So first test match, first inning, that did not happen. Whatever the bowler tried, nothing in the pitch, they just went on. बैट्समैन ने सोचा ये स्विंग नहीं करेगा, इन कटर, लेग कटर, जो भी बैट्समैन ने सोचा वही हुआ. तो रूट का डबल सेंचुरी एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. थिंग्स स्टार्टेड डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द सेकंड इनिंग्स ऑफ द फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैच. एंड आई हैड आल्सो सेड कि इंग्लैंड की बैटिंग पूरी तरह से रूट पे डिपेंडेंट है. तो रूट फर्स्ट इनिंग्स में खेला पूरा टीम, बेसिकली यू टेक आउट हिज स्कोर, उसमें कुछ रहा नहीं. यू टेक फर्स्ट इनिंग्स, सेकंड इनिंग्स ऑफ फर्स्ट मैच ऑनवर्ड्स उनका बैटिंग में जो शॉर्टफॉल है वो शो करना शुरू हो गया. एंड दैट कंटिन्यूड इन द सेकंड टेस्ट मैच. एंड इस मैच में तो प्रेशर था कि इफ दे लूज इट they have no chance of playing the World Test Series. And the batting again, right, they took the batting and right from the first day their batting was in shambles. So एक तो उनके पास, उन्होंने रियलाइज किया कि टेक्निक नहीं है उनके पास.
Exactly, yeah.
मीन्स नहीं है, टेक्निक नहीं है, बैट्समैन भी रूट को छोड़ के कोई है नहीं. So they just got exposed basically.
Yeah, you're right. Like Joe Root is the only experienced one, because I feel that they don't have the experience. All the batting lineup you see, all the new ones, Jack Crawley, Simbly, and all, they're pretty new. They don't have the experience of playing in the Asian conditions and all. So, and Neil, you talked about the skills. Yeah, I believe that they lack skills, although they're
exactly
pretty new. And about the mindset, I would say that mindset, they should have learned from the first inning as well, because
exactly
all
the thing is,
wickets went to
what I'm trying to say is, do you guys think that pitch was a factor, like 50% or more?
No, I don't think, because in the second test match also they were complaining about the pitch, in the Chennai pitch. Now everybody is not talking about the second test match. Everybody is talking about the third.
Exactly.
There's one point here.
2 दिन में मैच क्यों पूरा हो गया, राइट? सबको इशू वो है 2 दिन में मैच क्यों पूरा हो गया. तो लेट्स से कि कल जिम्बाब्वे आएगी अहमदाबाद में खेलने, and they get out for like 1 day. After 1 day मैच पूरा हो गया.
I was
now we will say the same thing कि pitch खराब थी, or we will question because they are not skilled.
I was shocked that the world will complain that 2 दिन में मैच खत्म हो गया, it's only because of India. But then I saw the statistics. There are so many matches which ended in 2 days.
Exactly. There is no question of the pitch. It's just the application. Application एक बहुत बड़ा word है cricket में.
नहीं, first of all, pitch तो one thing I will say कि pitch तो difficult था, no doubt about it. It's a difficult pitch.
No questions about that.
लेकिन उनके पास अगर दोनों टीमों के पास टेक्निक का, there is lack of technique because of, I think, too much T20 match or whatever the reason is. India has a bit better batting side, a lot of better batting side compared to the English side, but also Indian bowlers have been much better than the England, no doubt about it. Pitch तो difficult था, लेकिन वो टेक्निक अगर होता, वो एप्लीकेशन अगर होता, तो ये मैच थर्ड डे और मे बी फोर्थ डे तक जा सकता था. पिच वॉज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. अभी ये प्रॉपर टेस्ट पिच है कि अंडर प्रिपेयर्ड पिच है. I think it's a gray area. It's a very fine line, whether it's a underprepared pitch or a proper test pitch. But these factors, when you take these factors into consideration, where whatever the reason the batsman lacked the technique, lacked the application and everything, and I think if this would have been like 1980s, and I was reading so many things, like Gavaskar in his last innings scored 96. And he almost took India to a victory against Pakistan in Bangalore. And the pitch was doing much more than this, but then Gavaskar was Gavaskar. And batsmen those days did not have to play T20. They were able to play, or they were able to bat as per the books, where you play late, where you do so many things. Apart from Pujara on both teams, and correct me if I'm wrong, none of the batsmen I have seen use the feet to the spinner. Ball is spinning. How many batsmen have you seen try and go to the pitch of the ball and try to kill the spin there? All they're doing is from the crease, they're taking the foot forward. That is it. Apart from Pujara, in all the tests where I've watched live, India versus England, not a single other batsman from either side I've seen who have danced out and tried to go to the pitch of the spin and kill the spin. All they're doing, putting the foot forward, the ball, two of the three are spinning. They are playing entirely on anticipation, because the technique of playing at the last moment वो नहीं है. अभी वो लोग बॉलर और इंडिया के बॉलर्स बहुत अच्छा है. अक्षर पटेल बहुत अच्छा बॉलिंग किया. Ashwin is a genius. So they are able to find the play the mind games and everything and win easily, because batsmen are not doing as much they're supposed to do under these conditions. अभी उनके पास टेक्निक नहीं है कि वो लोग अभी वो सब सीखना ही छोड़ दिए हैं, because right from school days they are playing T20 जहां पर front foot आगे करके I mean the whole game has changed, because I think that is a huge factor.
And especially they don't have experience. Like let's say Crawley, Sibley, they don't have experience to play likes of Ashwin. They have
Yeah.
played Sri Lanka, but that's not a match, right? So
Yeah.
I think rather than saying pitch was bad, even we were out in on at 36 in Australia. At that time, कोई नहीं बोला था pitch खराब है. It just said, oh, India ने खराब batting की.
Yeah.
So who
But I have
defines
one
a
point to
good
make
match?
here. I have one question here for Bhaskar and for Neil, maybe. So, like, even if the pitch was an issue over here, let's assume there was an issue. It was a big issue, perhaps the biggest issue here. Why make so much of hue and cry about it? Like, have you
Exactly.
ever cried about fast pitches?
Yeah.
Have you
That's
ever
the
cried
point.
about fast pitches in Australia and
No.
England?
Yeah.
So why is there such a discrimination between fast pitches and spinning pitches?
Exactly. In Cape Town in 2018, we were out on a third day. Match was finished.
Yeah.
At that time, that shows the mindset of the captain. Virat Kohli came out and said,
Yeah.
"We batted well. There is no questions about it. We'll be hard on ourselves." It's
Yeah.
not. He was not blaming the pitch. This
Yeah.
is the mindset of a leader who leads a national team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Joe Root saying 5 wicket, he got 5 wicket because there was not a second spinner in his team.
Yeah.
It's not because he bowled well or whatever. It's just because
Yeah.
he was bowling to a tail ender and they didn't have the second ball.
And
Yeah.
also, the spinner they have is not that capable to take
Experience,
those wickets.
exactly.
And
So
and
my point is
one
rather
more
than
thing. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Neil, go ahead. Yeah.
so I'm saying rather than blaming the pitch, I would like them to say, okay, we batted badly and we'll learn from our mistakes and come back well. That's the response that I was expecting from a captain of a national team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I say that, I remember that Monty Paneser came with the England team and they won
Yeah.
that series. Like, he was a crucial role in getting Indian wickets out. Like,
Yeah.
it's the quality of spinner as well, right?
Exactly.
They
And I
have
love
spinner
what
right
Brad
now in
Hawk
the
said.
club.
I don't know if you guys heard what Brad Hawk said.
Yeah, I
No.
also
Nathan Lyon, sorry, my bad. Nathan Lyon.
Lyon, yeah,
Yeah,
Nathan Lyon.
yes,
Nathan Lyon
I
said I
read
would
that.
love
Yeah.
Federer to come to SCG. Because whenever a fast bowler bowls and we're out for 36-40, everyone says, oh, good playing wicket. But when spinner does, there is an issue.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
true.
don't get
That's
why
true.
spinners don't get that recognition. So test cricket is like your test of your mental strength, your skills, your ability. Like if you don't have skill for fast bowler, you should also have skill for a spinner.
Yeah. And that is the thing. I mean, Ashwin said very nicely in his interview that
Yeah.
what do you mean by good pitch and a proper test match? Is it a
How do you
format?
define it? How do you
गाना
define it?
लिखना है
How
क्या?
do you define it? Who defines it?
ये फिल्म का गाना है क्या? Like पहला मुखड़ा और 3 अंतरा उसमें गाना होना चाहिए. ये होना नहीं चाहिए. That is not the
Exactly.
thing. So Ashwin said it very nicely कि first day seaming, next 2 days pitch easing out, and in third, fourth day onward it should. Are you get. This is the format which has in generally test matches are played. Are you always expecting that? थोड़ा इधर उधर हो गया, spinner opening कर रहे हैं with the bowling, and then you all hue and cry because things have not got according to format.
Your way.
Why are you
Exactly.
expecting a format?
And the
And is it because like until some years ago it used to be purely a batsman game, right? Then gradually, there was a shift. It became a fast bowlers game as well, still remaining a batsman game.
Yeah.
And now spinners have come into the picture as well. Like, they dominate the game as well. So I think, does it require a broad mind shift to accept the fact that spinners are also as much part of a cricket game as fast bowlers are or batsmen are?
Yeah,
You
that's
nailed
true.
it, Devesh. Like we are in an age where we have to acknowledge spinners. Spinners would have to get that recognition that they probably would have got 10 years ago. Because it's a cricket match. It's not like just fast bowlers versus batsmen. It's also
But then
spinners.
मुझे एक बात याद आ रही है. I'd say like let's say about 20 years ago कभी एक मैं गेम देख रहा था with sitting with friends and all. तो man of the match का ना एक कार थी. The award was car, man of the series or man of the match something. And Venkatesh Prasad was bowling, and one of my friends said, and he wasn't an ardent cricket fan or something, and he said, यार ये लोग तो कभी सोच ही नहीं सकते man of the match award या man of the series ये कार तो कभी इनको मिल ही नहीं सकती. And Sachin was batting at that time. So, and that was true in that moment.
Yeah.
There was no place for bowlers to sort of claim big returns in a game of cricket.
Yeah.
But now things have changed. The tables have turned now, and the
I
bowlers
think
have equal skill, if not more than the batsmen.
yeah, I think what
and
Bhaskar
one thing I
said,
would like to say that T20 is comparatively a new format. It has been played 5-10 years. But even one day, Now, if you go back like 10, 15 years back on a one-day match, 250, 270 was supposed to be a good score. These days,
Correct.
I mean, apart from certain conditions and something, it needs to cross 3 hours. So even in 220, even in T20, you can see scores going beyond 200 or something, and they are still catching up. So, and the other team is able to win. So you see the rules, everything is become favorable towards the batsman. Bowlers right from the first ball is on a defensive mode. Okay. Now here comes a match where the bowler, particularly a spin, and even if the bowler attacks on it on a 50 overs match, if it is being played in Australia or England, where in the beginning it will seem the bowlers have certain option of attacking. Apart from that, the bowling role these days, which is evident from the high scores, bowlers are just going to defend. Here you see a match where the spin bowlers are attacking from day one. So that is something I don't think it has happened for a long time. It does not happen. It is a very rare thing. And everybody is at sea. The batsman, the technique and everything. Joe Root, who got a double century in the Chennai first innings, even he doesn't know. So the whole thing has changed. They're at sea, uncharted territory, and they don't know what to do. So I think, this is a systematic failure when you are feeding so much. Everything is in favor of batsman. T20, 50 overs match, everything is in favor of batsman. Only a pace bowler once in a while in England, Australia, South Africa, they get some chance to attack. And now suddenly you see spinners attacking, they don't know what to do. So that's another big.
Also about the Asian wickets, like they always been a spinner favorable, right?
Yeah,
Never been a green top in any Asian countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India. And why hue and cry about this pitch?
Exactly. I think sorry, go ahead, Prince.
I guess it's from day one it started spinning. That's why they were like crying why it's spinning from day one, the first ball, right? So I don't think any blame the pitch. मुझे लगता है कि they need to improve the batting.
Yes.
And I think the best thing has happened from second and third test match. It's like a big warning has gone out to entire cricketing nations in the world that before you come to India or Pakistan or Sri Lanka,
Be prepared for
to
spinning
face the spin.
pitches.
And I think that's the best
get
thing happened,
adequate
and this was needed.
Yeah, and get some bowlers on your side who can actually bowl spin, keep
right.
the bench strength. If somebody for personal reason has to go back to England or something, have that bench strength. If you don't have the bench strength, I'm not talking about the bench strength that India had in Australia. That's a great team. Not everybody can do that. Whereas C team can come and basically win a test match, but have some bench strength. And the English batting is totally exposed. I said well before. I said from the first test match, second innings onwards, the English batting does not have the depth. Totally dependent on Joe Root, and even Joe Root is at sea at these conditions which we discussed because of the predominantly T20 and 50 overs match and all that, and how so yeah, English team totally exposed. They are the world champions. They have some fantastic records before coming to India, and now, and I have said, I've said that the Australian broadcasters, they are so biased towards their own country. Same with England. Most of them, they cannot take defeat. It is difficult to digest defeat, difficult to be humiliated in this way. I know it is difficult to take, but then you see what the Indian team did after becoming 36 for 9. They did not sit down and complain. So
they never tried.
You have that confidence in yourself.
Exactly.
You have the technique. You can come back. You think you can come back, then you don't complain. When you know that you are thoroughly beaten, then you don't have anything in yourself to come back and counter that. Then you will cry over, you start crying basically. So.
Let's give the mic to Anand now. I think he's been here for a while, but he hasn't had the chance to speak yet. Anand, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. Sorry to be late. I just finished.
Morning walk.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
How's everyone doing?
We're good. How are you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry I was late. I just went for my run. Good. Thanks. I was hearing all these comments. It's interesting, right? It's very, very interesting that India has suddenly dominated a series, which was as expected. The results are expected. And India would be having pitches which would favor the Indian conditions, bowling conditions. And we do have a bowling strength, which we are using. And England, as you said, you rightly said, their weakness has been exposed they do not have the strength, they do not have enough exposure to play spin, or at least in Asian conditions. That's right. But I think the important point out here is England just coming back with a victory against Sri Lanka, playing in similar conditions. So they expected that if they had won in Sri Lanka with those conditions, the playing conditions should be pretty much similar, if not same, at least similar to what they had in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, all their games, I believe, went into the fifth day, except for one which was a washout. Everything went into the fifth day. So for them to lose Chennai in 4 days, to lose Moreira in 2 days, is something which they are also finding it a bit difficult. Yes, they don't have their full team, which played in Sri Lanka because of their rotation policy, but their core strength is still there. And that is why their commentators are saying there is a suspect to the pitch. And we did see, yes, you're right. As you said, they do not know they're playing in their front four. Someone's playing T20 shots. That's all true. It looks as if they were kind of like playing towards they had an eye on the IPL auction just to ensure that they get us a call for it. Joros apparently did not get one. So it is like an interesting scenario out there. Having said this, this is my question to your panel, saying, was the pitch fair enough to be played a 5-day test match? For
Yeah,
question number
I
one.
would say
Borderline. As I say, gray area, borderline. I mean, this is
No,
really
what I think, Anand, is I will go back to what you said initially. Do you think England should be more prepared with quality spinners when they come to India, rather than giving an example what they did in Sri Lanka? Because I don't compare Sri Lankan bowlers with our bowlers.
okay.
That's my first thing. They should
First
be
thing.
prepared much better than what they
And
did.
I have one more scenario
And
for you guys.
just to finish it up with the pitch, I think, yeah, I agree. There was 20% issues with the pitch. Being a new stadium, I think it was rolled pretty hard. There were some issues. I don't think even with batting properly, this would have gone to fifth day, but
Yeah.
this would have definitely gone to the third or fourth day.
Yeah.
And one more scenario I have for you guys. If England would have played better in second innings, they had scored 250 or 200.
Exactly.
What would have been the result of the match?
We might have lost.
Just imagine if they would have played.
Well, the
better
game would
in
have been a
second
little more
innings.
interesting. The game would have been a
that
little more
would be
interesting
like-
at this point, in addition
then
to
they
200.
won't be complaining about the pitch anymore.
They won't be. Exactly. Absolutely right, Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the other thing which I wanted to ask the team is saying, okay, there's a rotation policy that England has been following in a condition when they are trailing, or in their condition when they had an established match winner in Moin Ali in Chennai. Was it England's right decision to have actually given him a break without having taken the series lead? Because he was the only player who actually performed in that. Should they have kind of like said, you know what, Moin, you take a break after the third. Let's try to push home the advantage we
Exactly.
had. You were playing well. Can you come back and play this series? Like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had Ashwin, even though he was injured, he played that series. Yeah, he went and batted. He was like, even Vihari, he went and batted. He was injured. He could have possibly said, you know what, I had taken enough of body blows. I can't go back and risk the injury of a permanent injury. But he chose to kind of continue. He took that blows. Cheteshwar Pujara, he was taking the blows. He still continued. Rishabh Pant, he was struggling with his injury. He still went out and played. These youngsters, okay, India's a lot more competitive. They don't every given chance they want to grab it. Is England kind of feeling that our rotation policy is more important than actually trying to win the game and get that psychological advantage?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I agree
First of
completely.
all, I mean, here is a team which does not have the resources to play in Indian conditions against this Indian team, against this much better, we'll compare with Sri Lanka because England just came from Sri Lanka, much better bowling side compared to Sri Lanka. And then because of rotation policy or whatever reasons, even bowlers who are performing, like very correctly Moin Ali, who performed in the Chennai's match, and you don't have anybody even close to replacing him. That's why you went with just one specialized spinner. And I don't know, I'll ask others, what happened to the other bowler, basically the off-spin bowler, that young bowler who did pretty well, and they did not play him also. So I don't understand the English, first of all, they don't have the resources, and then whatever resources they have, they're not using them, and then they're complaining. I mean,
I think the other bowler was injured. I believe he was injured. He was injured, and that is the reason why I think that's why England did not want to push, because they were playing with a limited resources. They don't have the full they don't have the seeding that we had taken when we went to Australia. So they have come with a limited number of players. I think about 20 odd players. So they do not want to risk the injury. Didn't want to take the risk of getting their player injured because they got the ODI and the T20 to follow. So that's why they did not want to take the chance about it.
But Anand,
and
when your World Test Championship is on the line, I don't think it's a wise thing to send Moeen Ali back home, citing rotation policy.
That's
that tells me that
that's exactly my point. That is exactly what I was trying to put. That's exactly what I was trying to say, is that when you lost the second test match and you know that this series is now on the line, winning this critical game, this game is exactly critical because it gives me a chance to get to the finals. If I lose this or if I draw this, then I still have one more game to go through it. But if I lose this, I'm out of the series.
It's
that's
laughable to put. You know why? Because it feels like a small kids who play. Okay, someone made a mistake. Oh, it's not my mistake, it's his mistake. Just to hide their own mistake, they're saying the pitch is wrong. They did, for my count, they did at least 5 or 6 mistakes in this test match. And just to cover them, they are saying the pitch is wrong. Starting from selection, everything.
And while we are on this topic of the World Test Championship, I have a question. Did you guys hear this news? I'm not sure if it's a news or a rumor that some points are being taken away from Indian bucket because of the pitch conditions. Is that right?
There has been talk about this, and this will come more into the picture if the next test match at Modera also finishes up in 2 to 3 days. But what India is going to do is they will prepare another a batting beauty, and that match will go into 5 days, and then that question will be taken out of equation.
Exactly. So
right now you're not losing any points, right?
At the moment, they have not. Actually, both the test match in Chepak, the second test match, and this match is being kind of like, I think there's still Javagal Srinath, who's the match referee, is still awaited for Chepak and this one. And it is a speculation that India may be docked. There is a demand that the pitches, at least in Motera, was not good for it wasn't the right pitch. So they wanted that to be set up for. So they want India to kind of be docked for it, and it's actually coming from Australia because they were in the same boat after the slow 100. Right? So,
I would not be happy if they come Motera pitch, especially Motera pitch, is not good.
It was not that bad. It was an even bounce. Like I saw the Delhi match. In Delhi, there was a match against Sri Lanka. The ball was going above the head of the batsman.
Exactly, Prince. So do you think the last test match that we played in Australia should be poor pitch too?
Yeah, they stopped the match right away. The pitch was not suitable.
Correct. I think that was Krosha Kotla. Yeah, I remember that game where they called off the match because of the pitch conditions. Yeah.
So what I don't understand,
right?
Yeah, what I don't understand is the last test match we played in Australia was uneven bounce too. Pujara was hit 15 times. People were hit. Like Tammy was injured. Why don't we cry at that time? I just don't get it.
Yeah, I think we still have a bias for fast pitches, I guess.
Yeah. Why?
Like, you know what? The reason why India did not complain about the Australia pitch was because we won the game. Had the results gone the other way around, this media wouldn't have been like as celebrating.
And I salute Ashwin for standing up for Indian pitches, because I think what he does, I always support him. Even the Mankading thing, I don't see anything wrong in.
Exactly.
I don't see. We used to do that in our cricket games.
Why would batsmen I'm just I was a batsman, but I was also a bowler, so I know the pain that bowler goes through while being in the field, and there is a thing to change now. Like it's too long a batsman's game. It has to end.
Exactly.
It has to
and we know that there are only 3 boards in the world cricket, right? England, Australia, and India. And if you see England and Australia, they have only the fast pitches. They can't make a spinning pitches because of the soil they have. The green top or the other stuff.
And I think if ICC terms this pitches as bad or poor, I think BCCI should take a stand and just don't go to England or UK to travel.
Exactly. And for that, England has to make an official complaint. They have not done it yet. But one interesting thing I will tell, and I think somebody mentioned that if the match would have gone the other way around and India won this match by 10 wickets, it might look a very comprehensive. But if you see, the run difference between the first innings and second innings has not been between the two teams. First innings is not much. I think it is 30 odd runs or something. Second innings, the 40 odd runs, 30 odd runs, and then they batted very poorly in the second inning. But if England had a bit better batting resources and particularly bowling resources, and because India was batting second, if instead of 40 odd runs, the lead would have been like 150 or 200 runs, and 150 and 200 runs lead, you need just one good partnership to build that sort of a lead at that sort of a run, and then you need just couple of or at least just one more good spin bowler, and the whole match, the result could have been different and would then
the result could have gone either way in that situation.
Like this was more risky for Indians than for English players, the pitch that was prepared, I think. Because if England had done 150 lead, and I think it was a really good score on that pitch.
Yeah.
I would say, like, what you guys want? Like, do you think scoring 400, 500 is a good pitch, or you think 250 in all 4 innings is a good pitch?
Yeah, exactly.
I think 250 is a good pitch. Yeah, and I think highest score that India scored was in the first innings, 150. And that's because they didn't do well in the later part of the innings. I think this pitch was that 200 pitch that they can score in every innings.
Yeah.
It's just that
they could have, but they weren't able to. And now they're making a hue and cry about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would make a point here that I think
now talking about a score of about 400 or 500 is like a very it's like a very subjective term to say that whether England if it has scored 400, India would have scored 400 batting first. It's all subjective. The conditions were different. It's a new pitch. Not much was known. As I said at the first day itself, this Motera ground has got 12 pitches. And actually, they have built pitches, are bringing soil from other places which can cater to fast bowling, spin, medium, batting track, whatever you want, they can pick and choose. And BCCI chose the pitch, which said, let's make it spin friendly. And that's exactly what is the point.
That's a home advantage of a test match.
And the Australian broadcasters are.
I would say a point like here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, what I was about to
so
say.
that is basically why.
For me, the pitch was good. Why? I will tell you a reason why. I think for a test match, a bowling-friendly wicket is much better because it will give us a result.
You don't want
you have to
score 900 runs, right?
Yeah, for 20 and 40 wickets, you have to take. If it's the batsman skill which has to be proved in a test match, like bowler-friendly pitch would be a much better option in a test match, and batting-friendly pitch is much better option in a T20. So it will be a treat for us, right? We want to see the result of a test match.
And we need that balance, right, between the bat and ball. It's way too too much friendly with batsmen, right? Being a batsman, I'm telling this, like it seems like bowlers need to have a more say in test matches at least.
Exactly, they should be
absolutely right.
Batsman at least. They should not be a pelter like plain top,
and I can be guarantee it's a guarantee that next match it's a belter. It's a 500 600 wicket for sure.
Just to make up for this,
no, just not to make up, just because where we stand in Test Championship.
Mm-hmm. I think Montera has all the slow spinning pitches. They don't have that. I believe so because I have seen.
I really want to go and see a T20 there one day.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll curate a fast pitch for the next game, or they'll stick with this one?
I think they will play very safe. They will play very safe, very safe. But one interesting thing is that even in this match, there are 2 points. One thing which I think Cook said something very interesting, and which he said is true, though he's again biased towards England. But what he said is, if not fully true, to a great extent. He said, you're watching the highlights, you are seeing that, the ball is straightening and batsman is playing for the spin. And again, we discussed about how one should be playing at the last moment, and that technique is totally gone. and the ball basically just straightening, and and everybody's saying, well, you are losing the wicket because of a straight ball. And what Cook said is very interesting, is that what happened before, where you saw 3 or 4 balls turn a lot and then this ball straightened. So to certain extent that is true. And somebody, I don't know which player, but he mentioned about this pink ball having that sort of plastic where basically where the ball skids.
Yeah.
And again, people are not prepared for that sort of a ball, that sort of a pitch and everything. So that, I think, again, it comes down to the technique of the batsman, the technique which is gone. But many times, the batsman did not choose the shot properly.
Yeah.
In a pitch where the ball is skidding, where you are not sure of the turn, you are going on the back foot to cut it. And we saw with Kohli, we saw with Rahane, where they went on the back foot wanting to cut, and the ball did not spin. It came in with the arm, and one was bold and one was LBW. So
good point you brought here, Bhaskar. I think the ball that Kohli was out and Rahane was out was pretty close to off stump. That was not a ball. I think that happened because of the pink ball itself. Because when it pitches, it gets faster, and that's why Akshay Patel was more effective on that wicket. And I'm sure Jadeja would be too, because they are those sort of ball, like a speedy bowler, right? And I think that's where this is a main factor, like pink ball.
I totally agree with you, Anik, because it's the Akshay Patel's kind of pitch. Like
No, I think I beg to differ with that. I think I beg to differ on the pink ball on that. I think I need to beg to differ on the pink ball on that. The pink ball is actually much softer and it does not do what we saw there. It was the pitch. It's the pitch which was like a dustpan. So as soon as you see, if you go back and look at the highlight.
No, I can't see that.
Yeah,
I guess it's Akshay Patel kind of pitch. Like it favored him.
This ball was definitely like skidding once it pitched, because of, I think it's a leather surface that it has. I don't know what the effect of pink ball is, but it's skidded more.
And moving on, do you see any changes in both the sides for the next game?
Like India has already played a mind game here. They released Jasprit Bumrah before the 4th test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what was the reason behind it.
I read it was personal reason, but any of you know what happened? Why Jasprit Bumrah?
No idea.
I don't know, but
I think he lives in Ahmedabad, so probably it's a good time for him to spend some time there.
It must have created something in the minds of England team, right? Like why they are leaving a pacer. Is it going to be a spin pitch again?
I doubt it. It won't be the wicket that we saw in third test. It would be more like a Pata wicket.
The Pacers are bowling 5 to 10 overs.
Yeah, he didn't bowl actually in the second innings at all.
So guys, coming back.
Do you anticipate any more changes in the side? On other
coming
side?
to the fourth day, what do you want? Coming to the fourth day, what do you think India's strategy would be? To play a spin-friendly game? Or... Sorry?
India, I think, will keep the same team. They will replace with Bumrah going out. They'll bring in, I think, Siraj or somebody to accompany basically Ishant Sharma. I don't see any changes in rest of the team. So India, well, obviously India will like to either draw or win the match. They cannot afford to lose. So they will try and play safe, but at the same time, again a new pitch, and they hope they read the pitch correctly and win the toss. That is important, actually.
Yeah.
Critical that we win the next game. Otherwise,
and one player we all
is there any chance that we might still not?
Shubman Gill.
If we draw, we will go. If we lose, then Australia goes.
Sorry, guys.
Hello?
Yeah, who's talking?
Yeah, that's basically what it is. One player.
Oh, we lost Anand again.
Yeah, well, he's outdoors.
Yeah, so if we lose, then Australia comes in. If we draw or win, we are through. So it's just that if we lose it, then Australia will go.
Yeah. Then Australia will
go with the finals. Yeah.
Oh.
New Zealand. So I think we are seeing a draw in the fourth test. I can see it as a draw.
Not a win. You don't
Not
anticipate
again. I think they'll play safe and it will be like a belter and 600 runs for sure.
But I can see that at least it will be played all full 5 days.
Yeah, definitely.
But
It should
Because
be
there's a
possible
risk,
for
right?
people
Because
who
if
buy
we
the
have
ticket and go to the
grass on the
stadium,
pitch,
right?
yeah,
Should be
And I
possible
would,
for people who buy the ticket for the game.
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. So one
Because there
thing
is
is
I
for
would
sure, whatever the reason is, a match finishing in 2 days or even 3 days is not
It's
good
not healthy for the game itself.
good for the test cricket or not good for cricket at all.
Yeah,
There were many
absolutely.
factors which we discussed, but I mean, you know, batsman, and though it has been said time and again that cricket is a batsman's game, but batsman has to make a fraction of an error, and the days when DRS was not there, and even after DRS, if you don't have a any appeals left, batsmen have been given out even after clearly being not out. So here, and so the batsman, bowler, he can be hit for two consecutive sixes, and he can come on the third ball, take a wicket, and redeem himself. Batsman, you make a fraction of an error, and you are gone for that inning. So, in spite of being said that this is a batsman game, कि ये batsman का match है और game है, ये
I
पूरा
would,
team नहीं है.
I would
At the
totally
same
agree.
time, I think, and suddenly, you come and face a match circumstances which you are not used to, तो थोड़ा तो difficult होता है.
We are missing one person. Like if we see the last two matches, like second and third test, we have been continuously talking about the ballers. They are doing pretty good, right? But there is a one guy who is responsible for the India's win in both the test matches.
Yeah, Rohit Sharma.
Rohit Sharma. Like hats off to him. Otherwise, we would not have been won in any of the matches.
That's the reason I'm saying, right? Like the intent I can see in Rohit Sharma's batting, where he can go
Exactly.
step out and he can score quick runs, and that's what was needed. If you try to stand and block and everything, you will have that ball where you go out.
True.
And I say the same thing in Australia too. So it seems like it's the same wicket, but just this time it was a spin that was dominating.
Exactly. And hats off to him. Like he.
Yeah, thanks, Piyush.
Thanks, Piyush. Yeah, awesome discussion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, absolutely. And Rohit Sharma, one thing for sure, he uses his feet, and this I said in the beginning of the discussion also. Apart from Pujara and this match, he did not get much chance. He batted a couple of balls. Only batsmen in both the sides who have been using his feet to the bowlers, particularly the spinners. Everybody else, you are trying to play from the crease and with the ball spinning and then straightening. I mean, that's not the correct technique. And I think this was very challenging, and everybody, particularly English side, because they have lost, but everybody batted poorly. I mean, both sides batted poorly because this sort of batting is not needed these days. People don't train for this sort of technique. It does not come easy. Playing late, playing at the last moment, it does not come easy. And with the T20 and even 50 overs match, you are taking that out of the equation. So the batsmen are thinking, why should I toil hard and prepare this when I am needed to play more premeditated shots, reverse sweep, and all that. So
playing late on
particularly batting in T20 and batting in Test match is entirely different. Batting is not easy, as I said. Fraction of a mistake and you are out. And you are asking a batsman to bat in basically two entire different games altogether. So I mean, that's where the problem lies. So
okay, coming back to the point. Hi, coming back to the point of playing Blackfoot. We see Shubman Gill was pretty successful in Australia and in bouncy wickets and pace wickets, and he was also very successful. He was good in the Shepak's first test, which was a bouncy, supported bouncy wicket. It was from second test match, and in Motera, where we see that he's struggling on a pitch which is spin friendly. So on that point, I'm wondering if Rahul should be brought in to open with Rohit for the fourth and final. Rahul has been a passenger since the Australia Test Series, never got a chance. All other players pretty much got a chance. The reserves, C team, as you call it, all got a chance. But Rahul was the only player who didn't get a chance. He is one of the technically very strong player.
I guess
he has got a test 100.
Any other issue with the Rahul? It's fitness or something. I guess it's not because of the.
No, I think he is fit, but at least for Test cricket, they have set him as number 4, 5, or 6 kind of a batsman. So if we are replacing Shubman Gill, then I don't think it will be Rahul. It will be Mayank Agrawal.
I don't think there is any reason to replace Shubman Gill.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have a
twice he got out to lose shots basically in the second innings where he played the drive and he got caught at mid-on. He couldn't keep his drive well. He was going really fast. And here also in the first innings, he played some good hook shots, but then again he was playing against one of the best bowlers in business, and he picked a wrong shot. He has a lot to learn. Again, with young player who has been brought up under T20 and 50 overs match format, sometimes good batting is not always playing that great shot. Sometimes good batting is checking your stroke, and that is now. Batting is also a lot about instinct. It is about reflex, and you are used to you are used to driving a car always at 120 kilometers an hour, and suddenly the road condition changes. You need to now drive at 40, 50. And that's why I'll give you, because we are from Calgary at the beginning of the winter. At the beginning of the winter, when the first snow sets in, there is more accidents. Why? Entire summer, you are used to driving at, in a different road conditions. Overnight, there is snow. You need to change your driving.
And that, I would like to add another analogy to that. And if you have this kind of mindset that I'm going to stick with my all-season tires, no matter what.
Yeah. That is another thing. And you have not changed your tire also. It is saying the summer weather tire. You don't have the winter tire. You're not changing your batting style or your driving style also. And obviously then the car will skid. There will be collision. I mean, so and I'm not saying that at the first advent of snow, after driving in summer, at the first advent of snow, overnight you can change your driving. I can tell, even after being conscious, it is not easy, because driving like batting is also instinct. So, there are many factors. But pitch is a factor in this match. It is, but it is not the whole thing. It is not only about the pitch.
I would say pitch was like a 20% factor. 20% factor, I think, is more kind of fair assessment, but it was not as it's been portrayed that, it was because of pitch that we got out. I think pitch was a factor, but I don't think there were other reasons which we are not seeing just because the pitch was one of the factors.
Yeah. So then let's have concluding remarks from everyone, and then we'll close the session. We've had a wonderful session, and the comments are testimony to that as well. So any concluding remarks, Bhaskar?
Well, look forward to a 5-day match in Motera again, and hopefully, then test matches, I agree, needs to go into 4 or 5-day with certain exceptions, but hope to see a full 5-day match. But don't make it let us not make it just to make it 5-day. Let us not make everything bland that both teams score 500 in the first innings, and then it becomes a total bland match. Let us make it. There are ways. We have seen it happen in Australia. We have seen it happen overseas. We have seen it in India also. It can be a 5-day match, and it can be an interesting match. So look forward to full 5 days of cricket. At the same time, interesting cricket, not bland cricket. Yeah.
Neil, I agree with that. We need to have a pretty competitive test match. This is going to be the final test match, which decides both the country's fate, at least India's fate, and we need to have it competitive, and it has to be to the true spirits, like have every resources like batting, bowling, fielding at the top level mark. And I wish we have a really good 5-day of cricket that we can all enjoy and relish, and it'll be a stepper. Let's see who kind of makes it to the finals. Yeah. That's it from me. Sign up, guys. Thanks everyone for all the comments. Thank you.
Thanks, Anand. Neil. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll go one step further. I'm just looking forward to see New Zealand at Lords. There's no other choice. India is going in, and hopefully we can lift up the trophy, and that will be the first time World Test champions.
True.
Dave, one more thing I wanted to add. I don't know if people will be interested. I know Bhaskar is not into IPL, but if we want, we can go further with some discussions on IPL if some other members are also interested.
For sure. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, very honestly, I won't participate because it is not something which I am interested in, and no point in.
Same here. So Neil will make it.
It comes from inside. There is no point in pushing it. But I'll make it a point to at least be online and watch you guys and make some comments and stuff like that. I'll do that.
Yeah. It's just I don't know if someone else will be interested and if we want to do something.
Friends might be.
Yeah.
Friends might be. And
I will.
we'll ask on our WhatsApp group if somebody else is interested as well.
Yeah.
But it'll be good to have those regular chat sessions and keep it going.
Yeah.
But let's have concluding remarks from Prince, and then we'll wrap up the session.
Yeah, for the fourth test, I only hope that there will be a better pitch. Like it's a pitch. I won't complain the pitch. Like 20% Neil said, it's okay. Like the better applicability from the batsmen, and the bowlers should be given credit if they bowl well, right? It's the right area you have to bowl to get the wickets. Even if they won't bowl in the right areas, they won't get the wicket. If Akshar would have bowled at half pitches, right, then he would have been getting the wicket. So it's all about applicability. Like it's a test match. Come on, yeah, you have to survive to stay on the pitch. So let's see how things go in the fourth test match. Hopefully India will draw or win, so that we can go to the Lords and do the analysis for the Lords game as well. So
Exactly.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. We've had a wonderful discussion today, and we'll look forward to the next discussion or the next test match. Can't wait for that. All right. See you. Have a
Thanks,
wonderful
guys.
day.
You continue to
Thanks,
enjoy
guys.
the weekend.
Bye.
Yeah, nice chatting again. Yeah. Bye.
See ya.